San Miguel Team A. I'm Kyle, this is Chase, this is Tim, Victoria, and Sarah. Today we're going to be talking about the progress we've made up to this point from our last presentation. As you know, you've assigned us with analyzing your website from the external stakeholders' point of view, that is the donors, the community sponsors, and the corporate internship partners. And what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about the problems and solutions that we've come up with potentially, how we've addressed them. We're going to talk about the problems we faced in general with the project, and we're going to have an evaluation at the end, summing up our project to this point and what we're going to do from there on out. So, with that, I'd like to hand it off to Sarah, who's going to talk about some problems.
Okay, one of the first problems we noted has been with the information provided for the community sponsors and the corporate partners. The information provided for the community sponsors, which are usually the radio stations who donate free airtime, is that the website just provides a list of their logos and no explanation or detail. And similarly for the corporate internship partners, the website provides a list of who they are, but once again, no further information. And we believe as two main external stakeholders, the companies might like to have more recognition or detail or even some advertisement. So the suggested solution we've come up with is to gain input from these external stakeholders through a survey to find out more of what they would like to see about their companies on the website, and ultimately hope these changes can be implemented on the actual web pages. Another problem that we've noted is when San Miguel High School is entered in the Google search engine, the first link that comes up is actually for the old website and not the new website. And additionally, the links that you can see on the screenshot underneath are all catered more towards the internal stakeholders like the students and faculty, and there's really no links for the external stakeholders. So this is a major concern because with the Google Analytics we've been provided for San Miguel's website, we've noted that since May, the amount of users who are using Google to access the website has doubled. So we feel that a suggested solution would be to update the Google search engine so that the first link that shows up is actually the new website, and maybe alter the additional links underneath to make the external stakeholders view. And now Chase will be going into more detail on some other problems and suggested solutions.
Another problem we've identified with the San Miguel website is the overall skim value of the website. The website presents a lot of information that is not efficient. It has a lot of paragraphs that is wordy information as well as repetitive info. We've chosen to identify or solve these solutions through suggestions of using bullets, bold text, cutting down the paragraphs, and also informational videos for different stakeholders. The drop-down menus on the home page are also another issue we've identified. The drop-down menus present a lot of information that are not pertinent to the external stakeholders. To meet the needs for the external stakeholders, we decided to suggest a splash page implementation. The splash page would consist and serve not only external stakeholders, but also internal stakeholders. The splash page would allow stakeholders or the user to come to the page and identify themselves by clicking on their particular needs by identifying themselves. The page would then take them to a page that gives them information pertinent to the user. We've decided to model our suggestion off of the U of A homepage, because this presents not only internal but also external stakeholders. And upon clicking on the link, it brings them to a page that presents information that's relative to their needs. I'll now hand it over to Victoria, who will discuss problems and concerns with the overall project.
We've only encountered two main problems during our project. The first is, rather recently, our client contact has changed. Alina Ruiz has left San Miguel for a job in Colorado. So this hasn't been very difficult to overcome as we've met the replacement, Nicola Hartman, when we visited the school last month. And so we simply need to reestablish that contact through an email. And our second problem has been with Google Analytics. When we started this project, no one in our group had a lot of experience with website data analysis, so we had to do a lot of outside research so we better understand these numbers in terms of other websites and their performance, so we could understand what the website is doing well and what they still need to improve. However, after research, while we were able to figure that out, it encompasses the website as a whole and does not directly reference the external stakeholders. And to get that information, we're going to be sending out a survey where it asks the questions of how many times do you visit, how many pages do you visit when you go to the website, directly related to the people we're concerned with now. And now Tim will give you a evaluation of how we've been doing.
So we give you an idea of what we've done to this point and what we're actually working on. Now we're going to give you an idea of what's coming up next. We're going to continue and get the results from that corporate sponsor survey, and we're going to use that and take the ideas that we've come up with, the problems of the website, and try to implement what their needs are. Because in the end, they're the ones that are going to be using it, not us. We're going to further examine the website to see if there are more issues with it, as well as the issues we have now, whether they can be better suited to fit the needs of both internal and external stakeholders. And that also goes with collaborating with Team B, who we've already met up with last week. We've got some of their ideas that we like, and I think that we'll have a good idea of how we're going to be able to trade the ideas between the internal and external stakeholders. Like the splash menu was a great idea that they came up with. It'll meet the needs of both internal and external stakeholders. Further down the line, we plan on presenting these recommendations to you in the form of a final presentation in which you'll have an idea of both teams' implementation for the external stakeholders. And we'll also have a final written deliverable to our instructor at the end of the semester. So the main points we want you to take away is that we've addressed a lot of the issues with the website. We're trying to find potential solutions, and we'll continue to perfect those solutions so that they're better implemented to meet both the internal and external stakeholder needs. We're trying to minimize all the problems that we've come internal with our group, such as a new client contact or the issues with the Google Analytics. But overall, we want to let you know that your goals are going to be met with this project. The goals that you're looking for in the outcome of this project, we're hoping that it's going to help San Miguel and meet its mission and serve the community and getting more sponsors to come in so that you can keep your mission going as an educator. With that, I'll open the floor for any questions. Yes, ma'am?
What is a splash menu?
So basically a splash menu is, here we have a good example right here. So the splash menu was just this right here. And if you look at their website, the U of A's website, it has every one of the stakeholders. If you were a future student, a student, faculty, staff, alumni, donors, parents, so on and so forth. Well, if you look at their splash page, it's home, it's about us, it's academics. It doesn't have anything geared towards the external stakeholders. Yeah, there's corporate internship, but what does corporate internship mean to a corporate partner? I look at that as a corporate partner, I think maybe that's geared towards the students. So we want to make it more geared towards those external stakeholders so that they can go straight to the homepage and say, I'm a corporate partner, I can go straight there and here's all the information I need.
Can you give me some information on this survey that you're planning to run as far as how you're going to, what medium you're going to send it through, what questions you're going to ask, how you're going to accomplish that?
We've been brainstorming the questions we're going to ask, like how often do you visit the website, like what do you do once you get to the page, how long you're there, that type of thing. And then we're going to formulate it, we're going to send it to our client, and she's going to hopefully distribute it through email because we feel that's the best way to communicate to the corporate sponsors and partners because they're very busy, we know that. So hopefully by the end of this week we'll have that out. We're going to have a week for them to answer the questions and a week for us to analyze the data, and then we should have our...
Have you thought about if you're going to use Qualtrics, SurveyMonkey, what type of survey that's going to be? And I know you said that you had some issues with Google Analytics. Is somebody trained in analyzing survey results on your team?
We were just planning on formulating our own questionnaire type thing.
Okay, and do you know how many hours that's going to take you if you just send out a questionnaire, people send in a bunch of answers and nothing's going through it? Who's going to go through all that information?
Well, we still have to figure that out. That's something that we're going to have to work on for the next time.
Okay. And then I see that you said you're basing this website off of the U of A homepage. How many different high schools' web pages did you look at before you made that decision?
We looked at quite a few different websites. We looked at a few different Christo A websites, but we felt that the U of A's best represented the different stakeholders. It allowed the user to go to the page and identify themselves rather than identifying info they wanted. The purpose of a splash page is when you click on it, you're identifying pretty much who you are, and then it's the website's job to give information that's pertinent to the user. A lot of the high school websites and similar websites, we viewed information that was kind of all over the place. As you can see here, this is the high school Christo A website, or a junior high Christo A website, and it has information that's pertinent to the user, but it also has, I guess, information that contradicts it, because it has becoming a student, but also has a student's link on the side. So the idea is to simplify it and Keep it simple so you're not getting confused when you come to the website and which user you are. And we felt the UVA website did that the best. It was simplistic.
Any other questions?
Very good. All right, well, with that, we appreciate your time and just want to reiterate that we are going to meet your goals, and we're going to meet the goals of the external stakeholders to ensure that the website is geared towards them and that they can actually use it and implement some of the changes that you make. Thank you.